Have you ever heard a knock at the door late at night and felt a chill run down your spine? Now, imagine opening that door to find children with pitch-black eyes staring back at you, their voices eerily demanding to be let inside. What would you do? In the next few minutes, we'll explore some of the most bone-chilling encounters with these mysterious beings. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear will make you question every knock you hear in the dead of night. Welcome to the eerie world of black-eyed children, a phenomenon that has haunted suburban America for decades. These entities, often described as children aged between 6 and 16, are known for their pale skin and pitch-black eyes that evoke a deep sense of dread in those who encounter them. They appear at people's homes, car windows, and other isolated locations, always asking for help or trying to gain entry, but there's something off about them that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who sees them. In this video, we'll dive into real-life encounters that have left people terrified, explore the common threads that tie these stories together, and uncover the chilling truth behind these mysterious beings. From the infamous story of journalist Brian Bethel in Texas to other spine-tingling reports from across the country, we'll examine the evidence and theories surrounding these unsettling visits. So, if you're brave enough, keep watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more chilling tales that will keep you up at night. The legend of black-eyed children began to gain traction in the 1990s, largely due to stories shared on the internet. The first well-documented report came from journalist Brian Bethel in 1996, which we'll dive into shortly. But what exactly are black-eyed children? These mysterious beings are often described as children between the ages of 6 and 16, with pale skin and eyes that are entirely black, devoid of any sclera or iris. They typically appear at people's homes, car windows, or in other isolated places, asking for help in a strangely monotone voice. What makes these encounters even more unsettling is their behavior. Despite their youthful appearance, something about them feels off. Witnesses report feeling an overwhelming sense of fear and dread in their presence. These children often ask for simple favors, like using the phone or needing a ride, but insist on being invited in. This insistence is a recurring theme in many stories, adding to the eerie nature of these encounters. Our first story takes us to Abilene, Texas, where journalist Brian Bethel had a chilling encounter in 1996. One evening, Bethel was sitting in his car, writing a check, when two boys approached his window. They seemed normal at first, asking for a ride to their mother's house to get money for a movie. However, Bethel was soon gripped by an inexplicable fear. As he looked at the boys more closely, he noticed their eyes were completely black. The boys became increasingly insistent, demanding to be let inside the car. Bethel's instinctual fear took over, and he drove away as fast as he could. This encounter became one of the earliest and most famous stories of black-eyed children, sparking widespread interest and fear. To this day, Bethel's story remains a cornerstone of the black-eyed children legend, drawing attention to these mysterious entities and their unsettling nature. Imagine a cold, snowy night in Vermont. A woman, home alone, hears a knock on her door. She opens it to find two children standing on her porch, a boy and a girl. They ask to come inside, saying their parents would arrive soon. Feeling uneasy but concerned for their safety, she lets them in. Once inside, she notices their eyes, completely black, void of any white or color. As the realization of their unnatural appearance sinks in, she becomes increasingly frightened. The children continue to ask to use the phone, their voices flat and emotionless. Eventually, the woman's husband arrives home, and the children leave. But the encounter doesn't end there. Shortly after, both the woman and her husband fall ill with strange, unexplained symptoms. This lingering effect adds another layer of mystery to the already chilling encounter. In Alabama, a man was enjoying a quiet night at home when an unexpected knock at the door disturbed his peace. He opened the door to find two children standing outside, a boy and a girl, asking to use the phone. Despite their polite request, the man felt an immediate and overwhelming sense of fear. As he looked closer, he saw their eyes were completely black. Terrified, the man slammed the door shut and locked it. The children continued to knock for a while before finally leaving. Reflecting on the encounter, the man realized how unnatural and sinister the situation had felt. This encounter left a lasting impact on him, contributing to the growing number of black-eyed children stories that continue to haunt people's imaginations. One evening in Ohio, a woman was quietly sitting in her living room when she heard an unexpected knock on her door. Opening it, she was greeted by two children, a boy and a girl, standing on her porch. They asked if they could come in to use the bathroom. At first, she felt a twinge of concern for the children being out so late, but this feeling was quickly replaced by an overwhelming sense of dread as she looked into their eyes, completely black, without any whites or irises. The woman's fear was palpable as she refused their request. The children became more insistent, their voices growing more demanding. Despite the chilling fear that gripped her, she managed to shut the door and lock it. After they left, she couldn't shake the feeling of paranoia that lingered for days. Her physical health also took a mysterious turn, as she experienced strange and unexplained symptoms, further deepening the mystery of her encounter with the black-eyed children. In Oregon, a couple was driving late at night on a deserted road when they noticed two children standing by the side of the road. Concerned for their safety, they pulled over and asked if the children needed help. The children, a boy and a girl, asked for a ride home. Initially feeling empathetic, the couple agreed, but as they got closer and the children approached the car, a wave of terror washed over them. They noticed the children's eyes were entirely black, devoid of any color or light. Panic set in, and without a second thought, the couple sped away, leaving the children behind. The fear they felt was unlike anything they had ever experienced, and it stayed with them long after the encounter. The incident left them questioning the nature of these beings and why they provoked such an intense reaction. In 2017, a family in West Virginia reported a particularly unsettling encounter. Late one night, the family was winding down when they heard a persistent knocking on their door. Opening it, they found three children standing outside. The children, all with black eyes, asked to come in, stating that they needed to wait for their parents. The family felt an overwhelming sense of dread and unease. The children's insistence on being invited in only heightened their fear. Trusting their instincts, the family refused to let the children inside and quickly shut the door. The children continued to knock for a while before eventually leaving. The family remained deeply unsettled for weeks, haunted by the memory of those black eyes and the chilling feeling that something sinister had been at their door. A woman from Indiana shared her terrifying experience from 2018. She was at home alone when she heard a knock on her door. Opening it, she found two children, a boy and a girl, who asked to come in and use the phone. Despite their seemingly innocent request, she was immediately filled with a sense of fear. As she looked closer, she noticed their eyes were pitch black. The children's insistence grew stronger, and they demanded to be let in. The woman, paralyzed by fear, managed to refuse and shut the door. Afterward, she couldn't shake the feeling of terror that lingered. She also began experiencing strange health issues and had recurring nightmares about the encounter, adding to the sense of horror and mystery surrounding these black-eyed beings. Another chilling story comes from a man in Texas who was enjoying a quiet night at home. He heard a knock at his door and found two children standing outside, asking for help. The children claimed they needed to call their parents, but as the man looked into their eyes, he was struck by an intense, inexplicable fear. Their eyes were completely black, and their demeanor was unnerving. He quickly shut the door and refused to let them in, despite their persistent knocking. The encounter left him deeply shaken, and he couldn't forget the sense of dread that filled him when he saw their eyes. This story, like many others, highlights the unsettling nature of these encounters and the lasting impact they have on those who experience them. The legend of black-eyed children is one that has captivated and terrified many. From the earliest documented encounter by Brian Bethel in Texas to more recent experiences in Ohio, Oregon, West Virginia, Indiana, and beyond, these stories share eerie similarities. The children are always described as having pitch-black eyes. An overwhelming sense of dread accompanies their presence, and they insist on being invited in. These encounters leave lasting impressions on those who experience them, often leading to lingering fear and mysterious symptoms. Have you ever encountered something you can't explain? Share your stories in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if it gave you chills, and subscribe to the Phantasmal Eternity channel for more spine-tingling tales. Stay safe, and keep your doors locked at night. Whether you believe in the legend of black-eyed children or not, one thing is certain: their stories will haunt you long after the lights go out. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious and stay safe.